Welcome back to From the Bench, everybody. I'm your host, Eric. With me is my co-host, Trevor.
What's going on?
There we go. We are back in the Zoom meetings. We are in the orange phase for New Brunswick, so that means for us
upgraded orange phase.
Yeah, so that means single-family households can't hang out.
Bubbles, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So we can't really go out or do anything. So, yeah, other than our own families. So there we go. We obviously missed last week. Shit happens.
It's true.
So
we're trying not to make it a habit. I think we're doing a pretty good job every once in a while. We'll get better at it.
We missed week 2, I think, and that means we
Roughly.
were on a stretch of like 10 weeks. We actually had a show, so that's pretty good.
Somewhat of a routine, yeah. So
yeah, looking good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna recap last week. We're not gonna recap week 11 because why would we do that? First off, the Lions. Right into it. Not much for hockey news, so we're gonna just kind of skim over that for now. The Lions, they fire the coach, Matt Patricia, so he is gone.
Eric's buddy.
Oh my God, I hate Matt Patricia.
I know, I love it.
I don't know why they hired him in the first place. But yeah, so he finally gets the boot. Like, if you listen to anybody, any of the players, they all hated him. Yeah, they just didn't know why. Like, they're like, oh yeah, good riddance. Like, people, like players coming out on like social media and stuff and be like, yeah, well, that couldn't have gone faster. Like, he's an idiot. So yeah,
they could have been more professional about it, though. You know what I mean?
They could have been.
If you're happy, just don't say nothing. Have a little class, is what I say.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Apparently, he had zero class when it came to a lot of that stuff. And then they also fired the GM, Bob Quinn, which I guess he kind of got the rap for it, even though it was more, to be honest, it's kind of more of Patricia kind of came in and the Ford family over there in Detroit kind of said, well, here, we're going to let Patricia build us, the Patriots of the NFC
Patriots
North.
way.
Yeah, and so Bob Quinn kind of got the bad rap for that. Not that he should be excluded from it, but I think it's one you don't know who's doing what or which one, so it's easier just to take them both and kind of rebuild from there. So I think they're going to have an interesting time. I don't know what you think about it, Trevor, but
they got some talent there. They're a weird team. Like, you draft, what is it, Swift in the second round?
Yeah. You got a Kuda
and then
in the first.
he doesn't even play. Like,
no.
He's just starting to play now, and he's getting more carries or less carries than
Did you see
Adrian Peterson?
Did you see Peterson came out last week and
what
Peterson
the hell was with that?
Well, they came out and said like, oh, like Swift is going to be the starter. Like, what do you think about that? And Adrian Peterson's like, have you watched the guy? It probably should have happened 4 weeks ago. Like how did it take them so long to decide that he should only be the starter now? Like, he should have been the starter all along. So,
well, he's amazing. Like,
yeah.
That they were able to draft him the second round at the top of it, they're very lucky. Like, they're fortunate, I think. Like, he was clear to me. He was I thought he was a premium back coming out. Like, he was the best back. But that's just me.
And I agree. So they got a couple of things. Obviously, they got Matthew Stafford. They got Kenny Golladay, but I think his contract's up at the end of the year. So does he stay? Does he go?
Where are we at with Stafford? Like, I'm going to pose this question to you. Like,
he's amazing.
He was supposed to be huge coming out of college. He played for Georgia. I watched Georgia a lot.
He's amazing.
And I like him. I like him a lot. But he has never never really done anything in the playoffs. They don't make the playoffs regularly either with him, which is a sin.
He plays for this team called the Detroit Lions, Trevor.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's like he hasn't done shit really. Honestly.
And I think he hasn't really, like, he's had a couple good games, and a lot of it's just like. But he's just so talented. Like, you watch the guy,
he is.
And like
beauty arm.
Yeah, like
beauty arm.
Aaron Rodgers brings it up all the time, and he's like, yeah, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, hands down. Like top 5, top 10. Like, especially his arm talent. He's so good. Like, people talk about him. You know how like people talk about Steph Curry when they talk about
for sure.
Like in the pregame warm up, you'll go to a Golden State game early just to watch Steph Curry play. And practice and shoot around and do all the little stuff he does.
Warm-ups, exactly.
Apparently, it's the exact same with Matthew Stafford. Apparently, he is just a wizard out there, and people just go to watch him because he's that good, even in the warm-ups. So, I don't know. I've always thought Stafford was really good. He obviously
that's how bad of a football team they are. Like, if you think about it, how do you fail to build a football team around Stafford? Like, where are the weapons? Like, they got Galladay. Like, they have pieces there. They need to up that offensive line. Like, they're just really honestly failing to build a team.
Yeah, they had
this
Calvin
is exactly like me and you were talking about the Jets. Same thing with Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
they're failing to build a team around him. He needs help.
They had the one good year back when he was with Caldwell, where they actually kind of put pieces around him. That's when they first brought in Marvin Jones, and they started getting a couple things going. And they've got a couple things, right? I like TJ Hawkinson. Marvin Jones
that's the tight end?
Yeah, the tight end from Iowa.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
So I really like Hawkinson, but like their offense just doesn't seem there. There's just a lot, and it goes back, man. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there that get a bad rap, and a lot of teams that get a bad rap, and it's a lot of it. You need the coaching staff, right? And it's hard because as soon as you become a good coaching staff, somebody decides, hey, our coach is shit. We want a good guy. So then they steal one of your assistant coordinators, right? Same thing in Philly. Frank Reich, he was awesome for them. He was that mastermind behind, that offense that the Eagles had for that year, when they won the Super Bowl. But that was, that's just what he did.
They're struggling to draft now too. That's a good point.
Well, there's a lot of stuff, right? Like there's no, and we can get to the Eagles after this, but no, it's like I said, I think I've even heard people saying like that if they were the Detroit Lions, they would blow it up. Like they'd trade Stafford, they'd just start from new. Because are you going to win with Stafford next year? Probably not. The team's just not good enough. Kenny Galladay, like I said,
no, lot of fucking holes in Detroit. That's the problem.
Yeah, and the problem is the defense that Matt Patricia designed over there is slow. Like they have all this money into linebackers, and it's so slow that it's like you can't play like that. You can't have your three highest paid players on your defense be linebackers. Like that's just not the way this NFL works, right? Your money has to go into your pass rushers and your corners, and that's where your main money has to go. Yeah, if you have a good linebacker, yes, pay your linebacker, but you can't have 3 or 4 guys all making crazy money. Like that's just not how it works. So I don't know. It's
every team's different though. Some teams pay their offensive linemen. Some teams don't. Like some teams, like you just said, their defensive line, they're paying those guys. Some teams don't. So I don't know. It's pick your poison. But like me and you have stated, I don't know, 1,000 times in this podcast, man, it all starts in the trenches. If you can, I'm a big firm believer in that. If you can run the ball, if your offensive line's coming off and you're pushing back on the defensive line, you're getting 1 or 2 yards right there before contact. So
we talked about
you're laughing.
We've talked about it before the season even started when we just touched on offensive line. We said, look at Lamar Jackson. Was Lamar Jackson amazing last year? Yes, but he had all the time in the world to throw back there because he had, a Hall of Famer and Yonda back there, protecting him in the guard.
In front of him, yeah.
You had Ronnie Stanley. He was awesome. You had so much continuity. Everybody
who just got paid.
And then he got hurt that week. Was out for the season. So all of a sudden he's missing an amazing guard. You're missing your all-pro left tackle. And there's so much stuff like that you're missing. And now Lamar Jackson's struggling. He's like, yeah, because guess what? When you don't have 10 hours to sit back there and throw, it's going to become more difficult. So anyway, I just want to touch on that. The Lions, they're a complete and utter shit show. But good riddance to Matt Patricia. And sorry that Bob Quinn had to go too. But if it meant Bob Quinn had to go for Matt Patricia to go also, I'm all for that. I think that guy is junk. So
until Detroit gets a plan though, and they start drafting right, like they're, I hate to be a Detroit fan. Like I don't want to shit on you guys. I've been rooting for you guys for a long time. Anybody who sucks, I secretly start to like, because after about 6 or 7 years of sucking, you deserve somewhat of a decent team.
It's why we both have a soft spot for the next team, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars,
or the Browns,
because we've literally saw them be terrible this entire time. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, they released their general manager, their head coach is still there. So Trevor before this said, how does he still have
survive?
How does he still have a job? How does Doug Marrone have a job? And the reason is because they want to get the second or first overall pick. So how do you do that? You coached with Doug Ramone. It's the same thing as the Jets. The Jets aren't going to get rid of Adam Gase. Why would you want to give that locker room?
Funny stat, they've never fired a coach mid-season or like during the season. It was always after, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, but why would you ever want to get rid of if you're going for the first overall pick, which both these teams are hoping to, like the Jaguars are just hoping that the Jets win a game or two by accident, right? So and then
that's a big wish, I think.
Yeah,
Jesus.
You never know. It just takes one game.
Although
right?
the Jets almost did beat New England.
Yep,
30-27. Fact.
Exactly. So, it is what it is. But yeah, so the Jaguars, they go and they say bye-bye, see you later, kick their GM to the curb. And I don't know, like I understand, like I seen somebody and it was a reporter or news anchor or whatever for like a sports show, and they said, well, look, none of his players that he's drafted since like 2013 in the first round are still on the team. So what that's telling you that you're not drafting very good players. And I was
that's false.
But I'm like, what? Like you had Jalen Ramsey in there. You had Blake Bortles is terrible, but like
but Flowers
and I don't like Leonard Fournette, but like I'm like Jalen Ramsey's an amazing player. Like some of the players they just traded.
Exactly. Like there's three that come right to mind that they traded, and you just started with Ramsey.
Yeah, and which is like only top 5 cornerback in the entire league, if not number 1, right? So
he's up there. He's top. Yeah, I'd put him top 5. And then
you have Ngakwe, and you have all these other guys, right? Miles Jack, who you get in the second round. So like he's done a good job drafting.
But Miles Jack is a fucking first round pick too. It's because of his knee or whatever that wouldn't clear that year. But he's a beauty too.
Exactly. So
I totally agree with you that I totally disagree with that bullshit because that's bullshit.
I was just like you're making yourself sound very, wrong here, but a lot of it does comes down to drafts, right? But they've also gone through the process of they want to be terrible. Like they've traded everybody away. Like
they essentially rebuilt, started to get good, went up against New England, and then essentially rebuilt, tore it back down again.
We're beating New England for 3.5 quarters, and then just got scared in the in the fourth quarter. Essentially,
caves. They fell apart.
Throw the ball with Blake Bortles because which was the issue, right? They were handcuffed by Blake Bortles, and they're like, well, we can't let Blake turn this over, so we're just going to run Fournette into the line over and over and over again, and then that's what it became, right? So, but I don't know. I don't think he's I don't think he was a terrible GM. I don't think he was great, but I think he was also put in the position where, hey, we're going to rebuild this team and let's get it going. So then he trades, like I said, trades Ramsey, trades Ngakwe, trades, and somehow gets a 4th round pick from the Bears for Nick Foles, which I don't know how. Like that guy should keep his job for the next 10 years for getting anything for Nick Foles, who was a bum,
and getting rid of the money.
That's what I mean. Like you got rid of the money.
That's genius.
Yeah, give the guy an extension for 10 years if you're able to do that. To be fair, though, he also gave Nick Foles the contract in the first place. So
no, for sure. But somebody was going to give him a contract. But like you said, at least you get an asset in the 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Like even if you get the 7th, that's like because me and you've talked about it. The NFL is not like basketball and hockey where they throw around picks and this, that, and the other thing, and it's because you can cut them, which is horrible, and people can get them for nothing.
Yeah.
So, I love it. Like I think that, like you just said, like we just agreed on, he gets rid of the money, and in a bad, he wasn't going to start anyways. So
yeah, I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast, and they were talking like, I wonder when the NFL is going to become like the NBA, where the NBA is so not afraid to throw all these 1st round picks away. Like you watch the Paul George, he got traded for 4 or 5 1st round picks. You have all these guys, but the difference is, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but then at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but the difference is you're finding a starter no matter what spot you're drafting in the 1st round. You're probably, other than a quarterback, even in the first 3 rounds, you're probably picking a starter for your team next year, right? Unless you're picking a project, but for the most part, a lot of those players are going to start in that first year, right? Where if you're drafting somebody at the end of the 2nd round in the NBA, unless you're a terrible team, you're not starting that person, right? But if you're to draft a cornerback in the middle of the second round, you're probably going to
And
start him.
The age, it's all to do with the factors too. Like let's just go back to the NBA for a second. Like, it depends if they're a first 1 year wonder. Like, get what I mean? If they've been there 1 year, they started 4 years in college. It all depends, right? And it all depends. Do they fit your system? Like, I think the NBA you're starting to see certain teams. I'll throw the Raptors out there. They're starting to figure that out. They're like, what do they want? They find guys that they want, and they work with them. And Raptors are, and I almost want to say Golden State are good teams that develop guys. So
yeah.
Anyways.
Another sport that kind of does this pretty well is, and I found they were really doing that, was this year, the last 2 years with lacrosse for like the PLL, for like the field lacrosse league. A lot of the teams are built around guys that played for the same schools. So like you have guys that all played for Maryland, all guys that played for Johns Hopkins, Syracuse, whatever, all these different teams. And that way they know the systems, they know the way to do it. Now, how long does that stay, right? Are they just going to essentially be, bringing the everything, you can only get drafted by that team if you played in that system? No. But at the start, to bring the continuity for like a brand new league, that's the way a lot of guys moved when they were drafting their teams and picking their teams by the free agents.
Well, that way there's no surprises. Like I get it. I totally get it.
You're not trying to fit a square peg in a round hole and hoping this guy can fit in your system. If you know they all played at Maryland and they all played the same kind of system, then yeah, let's just, the terminology is the same, the movement's the same. Let's just keep it the same, and then we'll build on it from there and get better as each week goes. But yeah, I was going to get into, and maybe we'll hold this for next week, but there's some things. I said I see all these guys, and obviously you see the GMs, you see the coaches, and we said it before, when it comes down to a lot of these quarterbacks and a lot of these players that are getting drafted, a lot of it's the situation. And you just wonder how you have some places like Detroit, like a Jacksonville, like the Jets with Sam Darnold. Like, do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to go in there and fix that place? No. Trevor Lawrence is going to be running for his life. If he has
Trevor Lawrence doesn't block for himself.
No.
You know what I mean? He can't hand the ball to himself. No. And he can't throw the ball to himself.
No.
It's just a fact. So
no, I was watching a lot of people
and he can't tackle. He can't go play defense and play every position. So
no, and I won't go in on this forever, but when you have somebody like Trevor Lawrence, but like Carson Wentz, and a lot of people are shitting on Carson Wentz, and is he holding on the ball a little too long? Is he making some decisions that's whatever? Yes, maybe, but
he's definitely forcing the ball, and he's holding on to. He's doing all the above. Yes. But who's he got to throw to?
Go find separation.
Hurts is hurt. His other tight end that's awesome
Goddard
just came back. Yeah, Goddard just came back. They don't have enough wide receiver help.
No,
guys can't get separation, almost like in New England. They're not getting open.
Yeah, I watched Miles Sanders drop 3 wide open throws yesterday. Like he just dropped them. Like, hi, here I am in the middle. Like I'm off doing a little bubble screen, whatever, and he drops them. And I'm like, how are you? But yeah, let's complain about. So what's Carson Wentz going to do next time? Does he? Maybe I don't throw to that back to the guy. But then you look at him where he's throwing balls, and he had a couple balls that were like right there, but there's no separation, so the DB breaks it up. Well, yeah, if you don't have any separation, the ball's right there. Your receiver has to come down with it. But it's a hard thing for the receiver because now he's got a DB draped all over him.
No, for sure. But those 50-50 balls, though, I do enjoy. Yeah. You know what I mean? As long as it's a 50-50 ball, not get what I mean? Like an overwhelming, just throwing the defensive player. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Next one, it's pretty much all the news. Like I said, there's other stuff that we'll get into. Like I said, we could sit here and talk about Adam Gase. We could sit here and talk about.
We're not gonna though.
All this stuff.
Can't stand the cocksucker.
No, I mean, like just talk about all these guys and how they're terrible. But like I said, I think there's a couple teams that have done good, and we'll just move on. But that's our roundup so far of the coaches and GMs that got fired this week. Talking about the first game I want to talk about for week 12, and that was the beatdown that was the Kansas City Chiefs on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Tom Brady does not look good, and he has not looked good for the last couple weeks. Essentially, they beat a couple terrible teams to start the season, and they've only beat 2 teams with winning records all year.
Oh, I don't know. I don't agree with you. I think Bruce Arians is gonna call better shit, man.
Trevor,
I think Brady this year is showing that he can throw the deep ball. God, I kind of like to have it where we're at. But anyways, whatever.
So I'm going to catch you on that because you're talking about
Giver.
Trying to shit on Arians a little bit. It actually came
I
out
am.
that it's not Arians calling the plays. Tom Brady has told him that he wants to call the plays himself. So that entire last game, Tom Brady called all the offensive plays.
Well, I don't know. I don't believe it. You're gonna have to send me that article because I don't know, man. I just literally read something and it was like they're not on the same page. Oh, they're not on the same page. I'm sorry, people. I'm watching Michigan Duke. Buddy just landed on his face. But anyways, that's gonna hurt. But he's tough. Anyways, so I don't know. I just don't agree. Like some games here, they're getting away from the run, man. They gotta when they actually somewhat stick to the run, then it opens everything up for them to play action. And
I think that's Tommy.
I don't know, man.
I think he just wants the ball in his hand and he's trying to force things. And
I don't. He's throwing the ball too much.
I think they should run the ball, but you don't think Tom Brady doesn't have the power to check out of if he sees that he can't run a ball?
Oh, for sure. Like I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's just not good. Like it's just they're so good, and then they're just average.
Is that one game they ran the ball 4 times or 5 times?
Like their defense, I know their back end it's not good. Just can't hold up. So I don't know. Like I don't agree with a lot of the play call or some of the play calling, like I said, at all with them. Some of it, like Tommy's his arm. People that said he had shit for an arm, man. You got to watch the tape. His Tampa tape's unreal this year with talent all around him. But anyways, whatever. Like I don't know. I feel like they just. Like I said, they against Kansas City, man, they should have ran the ball a little bit more. It just helps set shit up for them. It's just not good.
No, and I agree. Like I said, the Chiefs.
They're 7-5 though.
Yeah, the Chiefs went out and just started laying it to them, and I think the Chiefs just are like, look, I don't want
their offense, but I think Kansas City with the receivers and stuff. But I think Tampa's defense just make them look good. Honestly, they got pressure, but their back end just could not cover anything. It was what is it, Davis? Davis got burned so much. It was just pitiful.
Yeah, but no, a lot of it comes down to when you look at it, I think the Chiefs got a little funky with a couple things, whether they're just trying weird plays or whatever. But I really don't think they were trying to bury the Bucs. I think was half the problem. I think if they
the Chiefs definitely ran the ball down the stretch to kill clock.
I think a lot. I think if they wanted to put 40-some points up on the Bucs, I think they could have. I think they would have easily done it all day long. But they decided not to, which is fine. But yeah, I think the Chiefs are the best team in the league. I think the Bucs. Because the Bucs could easily have lost a couple of games that they won, which obviously you have to be good to win those close games, right? There's a couple of games the Chiefs won that were close too. It's literally both teams played the Chargers and narrowly beat them out, right? So
you think the Bucs the Bucs? Sorry, you think Kansas City's the cream of the crop? So you're telling us.
I do.
And I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree with that. We got a what is it, 10-0 or 9-0 Pittsburgh Steelers team?
Yeah, but
I know they haven't had the schedule, but they've kind of had some matchups in their favor. But they've made Baltimore look bad.
Yeah, but Baltimore looks bad against a lot of teams. You guys beat
Baltimore. A couple teams here this year. Don't worry about it.
Hey, I'm just saying.
We got the recipe, okay?
Yeah, you got something. But no, it is what it is. Going on to it though, I obviously mentioned your team, which is the New England Patriots. What did you think about the game and Kyler Murray and how did you guys play against them?
Well, I enjoyed the game because we came up on top. Lucky some turnovers and stuff, but I think Kyler Murray's hurt. He doesn't seem to be running as much. So, and he's kind of against New England, he stayed in the pocket a lot more. So he ran a little bit towards the end of it or whatever, but there's just something going on there. So we came out with some key turnovers, which really helped us because they came out on fire and our offense was slow starting again. But then our defense kind of came up with some key turnovers, like I just said, and our offense did enough, and Cammy and the boys got it done. And man, Harrison, God, White, I love White, man. He's just a beauty. He just gets it done for us, gets in the end zone. He's running the ball good, man. They caught
twice.
Cammy, though, I think he's in his own head. You look at him, kind of his body language and stuff, and he's talking to Josh Daniels. And he was doing great at the start of the year. I think he's almost in his own head, Eric. He's kind of thinking twice before he throws the ball, even if it's a check down. Get what I mean? And just stupid shit. But
Trevor,
I still got faith.
A game with a quarterback that threw for 50% completion. He
I
threw
know.
for 84. He threw for 84
wasn't great,
yards. 84.
I know.
No
he's
touchdowns
hesitant.
And 2 interceptions.
It's like he doubts, like he's doubting himself, which totally doesn't even make sense. Like, but anyways, I guess it is what it is. Like, he just needs to have a little more confidence in himself.
How do you guys win that game? Like, but if I told you Cam
good defense and ball control, like the running, it was just like I know it's just, but he's he's lacking in confidence. It's he come back from covert, and he's just not been at COVID. I really got to start saying that properly. But anyways, all our listeners must know by now. I just go with the flow. But anyways, like I just wish he'd get his confidence up because he can be such a dynamic player, and he threw another pick in this game.
2.
I think he's got what, 4 touchdown passes, and then I want to say 11 picks now. So
he has
I don't know
on the season, and like I just never thought you'd see this out of him, right? Like who would have thought that this would be the Cam
you could
Newton
see him though, like he is. It's the lack of confidence to throw the ball.
He's got 4 touchdown passes to 9 interceptions, so he's at over double the
close.
amount of. So he's over double the amount of touchdown passes to.
But he does have 9 rushing, which is awesome. But I just wish he, But to his credit, it's not like the guys are fucking wide open in New England, the receivers. Like, honestly. Once in a while, you'll see Bird get crazy separation because of his speed. But, like, Myers was normally getting separation and White. And that's check down shit. That's 5 yards, 8 yards around there, right? So.
Yeah. No, he's.
Whatever. It is what it is.
You guys, like I said, a win's a win.
Defense a little bit better. But like me and you talked about previous weeks, I wish we could get more pressure with the front 4. We've seen a little bit of it. They do a lot of packaging, and we're getting Juke in there and stuff and Winovich. But I'd like to see them on the field almost a lot more, like almost 75%, because it's just we're getting no pressure, man.
You guys, I don't know where you guys go either. I know we brought it up before. I think maybe last episode where we were talking. You guys have like the 3rd most cap space coming up here in the next season.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting.
That's exciting for you guys, but yeah, you're going to figure something out because I don't know what you do.
Still in the hunt though, and we beat fucking Arizona here. I think Arizona, that's back-to-back losses, right, Eric? I'm positive.
That is
because they lost to Seattle the week before, right?
I think it's 2 or 3 losses in a row for them.
So maybe we caught them at the right time, but we're trending in the right direction here. I think that's back-to-back wins for us.
It would have been 3 losses in a row. It would have been 4 losses in a row. How many losses in a row? I think it would have been 4 losses in a row, but they went on that Hail Mary.
Oh, that's Buffalo. Right. Yeah.
So
good point.
Yeah. It's just like I said. I didn't watch any of the game. I'm not gonna lie to the audience here, but I just to put up under 100 yards passing and win a game. Yeah, it's just I don't know how you, and I don't know what it is about him.
And they slowed us down on the run early. They slowed Harris down, but then we got it going.
Like this is honestly like the worst I've ever seen Cam Newton play. And like we've seen some bad Cam Newton. Like he looks worse now than when he was injured in Carolina.
When he was horrible. When he came back from I don't know. When he came back from injury in Carolina, he was bad. I don't know. He's not great in New England right now.
At least he could throw for more than 100 yards.
I know, but we're not letting him do lots either. Like the last 2 or 3 games. So to be honest, so that's not fair to him either. Like I said, you could just tell he's almost afraid to throw the ball, which is, as a quarterback, that's horrible because if you're thinking about it, you're gonna make a mistake. If you're not, if you're going on instinct, you're better off that way. If you know what I mean. Anybody who's played a sport knows. So when you start thinking about things that are simple, like a 5-yard pass, it becomes difficult when you got big guys in front of you rushing you and trying to kill you. So
yeah, and like I said,
but anyways,
they beat now them. They lost last week. He actually did a lot of passing yards last week. But then he lost, and they won the week before against the Ravens, but he had like under 120 yards, I think, passing that game too. So
yeah, we just ran down their throat.
Yeah, that was more of a tornado bowl than anything. Getting on to the next game, which is my game, which is the Chargers game.
The San Diego Chargers, which are now the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah. So
I missed that announcer.
Yeah, Trevor Trevor didn't watch the game, with kind of opposite of what
I have it on a PVR.
Yeah, he's like, look, don't spoil it for me. I'm like, well, I'm gonna spoil it on the podcast, Trevor. Don't tell you. But
so just totally fracks a guy over.
Yeah, well, hey, you had all day today. I don't tell you. Tell Ronnie to
had to work on that Camaro, boy. Defenders are honor.
Tell Ronnie to loosen the ball and chain. So this is one of the more frustrating games I've watched. It just like they were pretty good. It's just like there's a couple blown coverages like every game. Like I just don't know what you're gonna have blown coverages, but it's just like they're all over the place, and you're just like, what are you doing? And then the more frustrating thing, and everyone knows, I've been a very big supporter of Anthony Lynn, the coach for the LA Chargers, just because, and like, yes, he does some stupid things, but the main part of it is he goes and like he's kept us in all these games. Like literally, this was the first game all year that we've lost by more than a one score. So more than a touchdown or field goal. This is the first game all year that we've lost. So like you're in every game. So it's hard to be angry when you're in every game. Like, yes, you can be frustrated by
7 points or fewer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, exactly. Or 8. One of them might have been 8, but that's a 2-point conversion. So he's still one score.
Still relevant what I said.
Exactly. So there's a lot of this stuff, and it's hard not to get frustrated. But you're like, we're missing some guys and this and that, and it was close. And there was the lateral pass, the hook and ladder that almost went from Keenan to Eckler. There was a couple other plays that were right there and close, and it is what it is. But this week, so they go down, they're down, and like to be honest, they would have had to hit an onside kick to get the ball back to win this, right? Because they ended up losing the game 27-17.
First things first, before you get into that, how'd Eckler look?
Eckler looked good. He was fine. The running game wasn't that great, but we're back to using Sam Tevy and Trey Pipkins as our tackles. So Herbert just had no time at all. And as soon as you guys...
So he dropped back and there's guys in his face.
Yeah, anything on the rush, it was same thing. The line's just not great. So he did look fine, though. Not crazy. Caught a lot of balls, though. Like he caught 11 balls for 85 yards. Hunter Henry had 7 catches. Keenan had 4 catches with 1 TD. So nothing huge. They obviously have Tre'Davious White over there in Buffalo too, so that's a good corner.
One of the beauties.
Exactly, one of the better corners. So, and I found like there was some stuff to Keenan that it was just odd. Like some stuff he was just, some of the balls were just not right on there, and some of them were a little different plays. But
so they were off a little bit.
I feel like the
Herbert?
the offense as a whole was a little off. I don't know if it's because they were trying to force stuff to Eckler and get him involved, but it was what it was. We also didn't have Balaj, so he didn't have that big running, back. We had Joshua Kelly, who had a big 33-yard run, but then only got 2 more rushing yards on the next 6 rushes, right? So it's you didn't have that big guy like Balaj.
He's still struggling, Kelly, too.
Yeah, Kelly's just struggling. But anyway, so they go down. He almost had essentially like a Kyler Murray play. Goes, takes it, almost gets sacked, rolls out to his left, chucks it up. It going into like a pile of defenders and receivers. It pops up. Chargers guy gets it, goes down at like the 2-yard line after trying to get a couple extra yards, and they run up. So there is like 25, 26 seconds. They're running up to the line. You think they're going to spike it maybe. You don't know what they're going to do. With 20 seconds left and no timeouts, Trevor, what's the one thing you cannot call?
No timeouts? Run play, big time.
Can't call a run play. Because if you don't
Can't at all.
Because if you don't get it, what happens? Then the clock's just going to run, right?
Continues to tick. Tick-tock.
14, 15 seconds run off. So what do they run, Trevor? They run a freaking run play to Eckler on a and you haven't. It's not like you dominated the run game all day. You can't get anything going. So they hike it over, or they whatever, hand it off to Eckler. Eckler runs into the line, doesn't get anything. So it's the first time I've seen in a long time. The announcers were screaming bloody murder and just cursing Anthony Lynn and the coaching staff up left, right, and center. Like, this is why you're the way you are. You have way too much talent on that team to be as bad as you are and have the record that you have. It's decisions like this is why you aren't making the playoffs. The decisions like this is why you're not making. And I was like, I will finally agree that was the stupidest play I've seen and the stupidest play call I've seen.
What are the Chargers at? Still at 2 wins here? What are we at here?
3 wins, I think.
3-7 or 3-8?
3-8. It's not good.
Yeah, like so. Okay. So,
like I said,
between you and I and our listeners,
yeah.
Where do you think? How many more wins you guys should have, realistically?
We should have beat the Chiefs, hands down.
Okay.
We should have beat the Bucs, hands down.
So we're at 5.
Yeah. We should have beat. I'm just gonna go through everything real quick. We beat the Bengals week 1. Probably should have lost that, to be honest.
We should have lost that game.
Yeah,
I watched it with you.
Should have beat the Panthers. That was a weird game though, but should have beat the Bucs. Saints could have beat the Saints. Didn't.
Was the Saints the overtime game?
Yeah. Should have beat the Broncos. We lost to the Broncos 31-30 on that last second play by Drew Lock. There's no reason why that should ever get to that point. Should have beat the Raiders. Lost to the Raiders. We should have had. They ran 2 fades, Trevor, which I don't understand what the Charger staff. It's officially like they just love that fade pass, and I'm like, the fade pass is such a dicey.
I've seen that game. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like that's terrible. You have Keenan Allen, you have Hunter Henry, you have all these guys. You have a mobile, big, athletic quarterback. Get people open and get them the ball easily, not a hike and then a lob twice in a row. That is terrible. We lost to the Dolphins. That was actually Justin Herbert's last game, like worst game. Like we shouldn't have won that. Beat the Jets, and then which we almost lost because same thing. Why not?
Don't feel bad. So did New England.
And then we lost to the Bills, which we deserve to lose to the Bills. Like I said, I don't think we would have even won against the Bills last week. The problem is like just the play at the end. Like I said, you would have had to recover an onside kick, which you're probably not going to do. But
so you easily think they should have 4 more wins. We'll say 4. I'll go with 4.
At least.
So they should be sitting at. We had
7.
So so that's okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's interesting. I think for sure
it should be 7 and 4.
I think they should have beat the Chiefs. And who was the Saints? The Saints was in overtime as well, correct?
Yeah, and the Bucs.
Double checking. And I think you should have beat. Okay, so I think you should have beat the Raiders.
We were up on the Bucs 24-14, and then we ended up going up. I think we scored at the start of the third quarter. I think that's what we did.
I don't like how that game was called, if I remember correctly.
Try to remember.
You guys should have ran the ball a little bit and just stupid shit. Yeah, but I agree with you. You should have won the game. Yeah. I watched
24-14, and that was we were up 24-7 before we had a punt blocked or something stupid like that. I can't remember what it was. Or no, we had a fumble. I think we had a fumble on in our own end, and Brady threw a touchdown with 30 seconds left.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's correct.
So like I said, we should have won that game too. I think it should be 5 wins. So we should be 8-3. Like that's honestly how I feel, and that's how many losses we've had that literally I think we could have won. So anyways, it's just frustrating. And like I said, it's the first time that I've actually been Anthony Lynn's a freaking
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I'll say it for you.
I couldn't understand how he did it and why he did what he did. And maybe it wasn't him, but it's just, and he's there's just some timeouts that are weird and stupid. Just a lot of things like that.
That's part of a rookie quarterback and stuff though. Yeah. I rather them take it and whatever. I know. I understand that can be frustrating. I can't. There's a game I watched on the weekend. I can't. It's not coming to mind. I can't tell exactly what game it was. But some of the timeouts, like Eric just said, I was like, "What in the fuck are they doing?" And there was 2 timeouts. Came out. I think they came out in the second quarter, whatever game it was, and they used 2 timeouts. It could have been the Raiders. It was the Raiders last weekend. Anyways, and they used 2 timeouts in the worst spots. I'm like, what in the fuck are you guys doing?
The Chargers at the end of the second quarter, before halftime, instead of they're going to punt the ball, they're going out in 4th and 2, almost looked like they're going to go for it. They go out. They decide, nope, never mind. We're going to call a timeout with 3 seconds left on the play clock or whatever it was. Which why would you if you're not, and then they march out the punt team. So if you're not going to go for it, then don't bother taking the timeout. Because as soon as they called the timeout, the punt team went right out, and it was like
that doesn't even fucking make sense.
Then just take the delay of game, get pushed back an extra 5 yards, and kick the ball. Like, why are you taking a timeout?
I tend to agree with you.
That's like it's stuff like that just makes you like
drives you nuts.
Yeah, it's
secretly.
It's mind-boggling, Trevor. Boggle.
Yeah. Mind-boggling.
Yeah. But yeah, like, it's just like stuff like that. I don't want to see Anthony Lynn get fired because I think he is a good coach.
I totally agree.
Stuff,
I like him.
But I think I don't know if he just doesn't know how to manage timeouts. If you have to bring in somebody for like the end of the, first and second halves, like I don't know what you got to do, but he can't be in charge, or whoever he's letting be in charge can't be it.
Well, they got to get rid of Gus Bradley. I hate to fucking say it, but it's the truth.
By the way, just want to put it out there, Joey Bosa looked like he was a man amongst boys.
So he was healthy.
Oh, man, he had 3 sacks. What was it? 3 sacks, 6 QB hits. Like,
who did they play again?
The Bills.
That's interesting. The Bills got a decent line, pretty good line.
Yeah,
I know they got some injuries, but
he just destroyed them. Where's the thing? Because I think the Chargers page had it somewhere. Where was it? He had. Where was it? Somewhere I can't remember where it was. He had a bunch of it was like 3 sacks, 6 QB hits, 7 pressures. Like he was so good, and like it's one of those things when Trevor knows, and if anybody listens to the podcast knows that I love offensive and defensive line play, and to see a guy be that good,
just light it up.
It's just so nice to see, man. Like I get so excited because I'm like, you are so good. You are so much better than everybody else out there, and it is amazing to see somebody like that just destroy the other team. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what do you think of the Rams?
The Rams? I don't know. They're one of those teams that it's just
like what are they? Like they're so good. They destroy teams one week, and then you'll get a game like Miami where Miami's defense destroyed Goff, but like who they just beat? Did they beat or they lost to San Fran? Did they not by 3? This previous weekend here?
Yeah, I think they lost by
3, I believe, right?
Yeah.
By field goal?
Yeah.
I think it was 23-20 or something like that.
Yeah, they lost by field goal. They were up, and I think Nick Mullen somehow came back on them.
But
23-20.
The Rams, they're a very interesting team. Like for our listeners, I've watched all the New England games. I didn't get to see Miami and the Chargers play because it wasn't on TV. Couldn't get a hold of it. Couldn't tape it unless I went over to Eric's, and that didn't work out. And I've missed basically one Chargers game. I got the other one taped, and so I've watched all the Chargers, all the New England games, all the Buffalo games, all the Rams games, except for this 49er game that I couldn't get my hands on. Minus this last game, but I'll tell you the Rams, man. I'm very curious because as good as they look, some weeks they're not as bad as Detroit, but that's a fact. Look at the record, but they're just a weird team. Like if you can get to Goff a little bit and just bang him around, just put him on the ground, he just seems to get flustered and off his game. And if you can get ahead of the Rams and make them fucking put it on Goff's shoulders and throw the ball more than they hand it off, just a little bit, like just tip that scale a little bit, man, the Rams just go to shit. So
the thing is too is they have
very interesting, and the Rams get a lot of pass catchers, like 2 tight ends that are good.
Oh, they have.
I won't say all stars, but fucking really good.
Give Cooper Kupp, who's probably one of the most underrated route running,
and he's good. Yeah,
you have Rob Woods, who's just a solid player, and you had everything.
They
else.
Get open. They're not burners, but they get open and press coverage. They're just quick fuckers, and they get open.
Oh, exactly. And it's a lot of it's the movement and stuff, and the play action, and there's lots of stuff.
Every play, there's always motion on every play. You're right.
Henderson only averaged it was 10 rushes for 19 yards. So that's not what you want to see out of your good
They got to
running
get
back.
Henderson the ball more.
But they gave Akers the ball some. Akers actually looked pretty good. So he had
looked like he was at Florida State, just killing it.
So he had 20. Other than his big rush, he had 8 rushes for 23 yards. So still not great, right? That's only 3 yards a rush. You want to see more over that 4-yard mark, but it is what it is.
I agreed. He's figuring it out. He's a young fella.
I don't know. I think that's kind of one of those weird games where both teams are really good on the coaching end of it, and they just got to figure it out on the player. The players have to execute, and I think Sean McVay kind of even came out and said that, like, you know what, our quarterback has to be better. Dude, you can't turn the ball over as much as he turned it over today and still win games. So
let's be honest, though. How fucking good of a coach is Shanahan? Like, fuck, he's a good offensive play caller. Like,
you just imagine if he actually had
they don't even have Jimmy G back there. As much criticism as he takes,
he's terrible,
man. Oh, here we go. But anyways, they do miss him.
My conversation.
But I'll tell you one thing who really made a big difference for them this week was Sandoval being back. Man, he's a fucking beauty, and he runs like he's a goddamn running
Samuel?
back. Oh my god, like he's just.
What did you call him?
I don't even know, but it doesn't even matter. He's such a beauty.
I think you called him Sandoval.
That sounds familiar. That's probably exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. I'm gonna go with that. But like he's just something else, man. And he's just a difference maker. It's like you can see him just. It doesn't even have to be a big player. It could be like a 5-yard completion, and you just see his teammates. It's just like. They get excited, like it just brings them up a notch. It's just like wow. It's just that factor. He's just like
he's got that yak factor.
A Bronk or what is it, Kittle for the 49ers?
Yeah.
Like just certain players in the league. Like remember Terrell Owens, like when I'm thinking more of the Eagles.
Yeah.
When he'd break one, like or the 49ers back when he was young. But man, you could just see his teammates get excited. He's the real deal, man. Like I think he's a beauty. He's a different player though. He's more of he's a physical motherfucker. You don't see that too much of the receivers, but
no.
I love it though. God, I love it.
Let's go. So we're gonna move on to week 13. We're gonna guess the teams, give our predictions.
We're gonna go picks.
Yep. And
just before Eric gets into this, so me and Eric did 2 picks each, and I'll give Eric some kudos here. I'm just gonna give him a shout out.
Yeah,
he won last week. Yeah. I picked the Cowgirls. Why? Jesus Christ, why? Because the Red Rocket, I really do like fucking I hate to say it, but I do like Dalton, man, and I don't understand, but god damn it sucked. Zeke, what the hell are you doing to me, man? Like
Zeke's terrible.
Come on, bro. Like really?
And it doesn't help. Really? It doesn't help that they lose Zach Martin and then they lose Irving.
He should be motivated though, right? Right? Like he wants to prove it. Like, come on.
But the problem is you lose.
I agree with you.
You lose
come on.
Pro Bowl. You already missed Tyrone Smith. You don't have Frederick because he obviously retired, and then you have your other 2. Your only 2 good offensive linemen left, and then you lose both of them due to injury. I think within like 5 plays of each other. Like I
know, but still, like he's gonna. All I'm saying, buddy, is he's gonna make a fucking point here. Like this is how good I am. Yeah. And you could. I don't even like his body language. Like
no.
It's just like it's like they lost Dak and he's checked out, and I do not like that.
He's like, I'm done. We're not gonna win this.
Exactly. Like, don't give me this shit, man.
The thing is,
be a professional. You're wearing a logo, get her done. And I don't like that team, but get her done.
If he had played half decent, and they had played half decent, they literally the leader of this division right now is the New York Giants with 4 wins.
I'll tell you. Okay, between you and I, who looks good?
Washington.
It's fucking Washington. Yeah, that's right. That's how I know you watch football, because you know what? I watched a little bit, and Alex Smith is slowly but surely getting his confidence back, man, and he's feeling good. And look the fuck out, because that man there can win 10 or 11 games. Like he can win you enough, especially like Eric just said. The Giants are leading the division with what, 4 wins? Man, look the fuck out. And they got the right coach there too.
They have the same
with experience.
They have the same amount of wins as Washington, so it's just they have the upper hand on.
They do, yeah. Didn't they beat them head to head, or did they? They must have played.
Yeah, they have the head to head. So, anyways, we're gonna move to week 13. First game, it is the Bengals versus the Dolphins. And I don't know what Trevor, but I'm picking the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins too. And Tua, I do not believe he's going to play in this game. They haven't said yet, but there's a good chance he won't. We'll see, though.
The only reason I could see him playing is just because it's a bad team. So if they're trying to get his confidence up after a couple,
I think it's just his thumb. If his thumb comes around, like they said he didn't lose his starting job. They're just waiting on the thumb.
Yeah, basically. No, it's just one of those things like where he's had the one good game, but the other two games he played, he didn't throw for a bunch of yards. Like he had the good game against the Cardinals, but the game against the Chargers, he didn't look good. Like, yes, they won, but like he had 160 yards passing. The other game that he first started in, he had what, like 112 or 80 some yards. Like he didn't have a good game that game either. And then obviously he has the bad game where he gets pulled, which probably because he was banged up because of his thumb or whatever, and they brought Fitzmagic in. But I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me why you'd ever. I think they're just trying to get his confidence back, and they're like, look, here's one of the worst teams we'll play for the rest of the year, which is the Bengals. Let's get you some stats. Let's see you throw for 250 yards and put up some, 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns, really get your confidence going, and then, finish off the season, right? But
I just love Miami's defense. Yeah. Like they're doing such a good job there. Like,
if you want to see who the actual good guy that was on that defensive staff of the Patriots is, go watch the Dolphins, not the fucking Lions of Matt Patricia. So
I will tell you one thing: he learned a lot, and he was only the defensive coordinator 1 year.
Well, the funny thing is too is that what's the big thing about Bill Belichick that he loves? He loves corners, right? That's where he wants to see you win. So what is
he loves his linebackers too, though. I'm not gonna lie, he's huge on them.
But he's all about. He doesn't pay his linebackers big money.
Pays him decent money.
He plays them okay, but like
I think he realized you need that one corner, that one guy you can lean your hat on. Well, for us, anyways, right?
Yeah.
Like man to man, like Revis Island. Like, okay, I know if I'm gonna put like Gilmore here, or I'm gonna put Asante Samuel, or I'm gonna put Ty Law. See what's going on here, or Butler. They've had a lot of luck.
Well, then you look at Flores, and Flores is like, look, we got Byron Jones,
Howard,
Xavier Howard, and then
we're
going to go in the first round and grab Ibogane, I think is how you say his last name. Grab him.
People were like, who? He was pretty good, and they chirped him for taking him in the first round. Remember that? Did we watch it together or no?
We did. And that
on Zoom.
Yeah.
On Zoom.
Yeah, because we were in COVID at the same time. But it's that, and he fits that role that they want him to, which is the nickel corner, right? So
I'm not gonna lie though, he's been really good this year quietly.
Yeah. By the way, the Dolphins are really, really good in defense. And I think the Bengals, I just think that there's not enough there.
They don't have Burrows. It's gonna fucking kill them.
No, Mixon's gone. Obviously, I don't.
That too. One of my favorite running backs.
We haven't done an episode. Yeah, so Joe Burrow got hurt, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. That's a really fucking shitty situation.
Brutal, man. Like, I seen that on TV, and I'm like, don't replay it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, you just see his knee folding away. It shouldn't fold because people are in places that it's just not good as a quarterback or any player in the NFL. And it's nobody's fault.
No. Well,
but it was gross.
Maybe other than the team itself.
You know what I mean, though, Eric?
Not getting them. No, it wasn't like it was a dirty hit. It wasn't like it was.
No, it's
like
just
that, right?
People are by the wrong people. Like, he was getting hit. There's people by his feet. And anyways, I don't want to get too graphic, but it was – just go YouTube it. It's not good.
Yeah. And then he comes out.
Feel bad for him.
ACL, his MCL, and has some other structural damage. So they're saying that it's something that he can get back from. It'll probably be next year. I don't agree. I think I seen somebody on one of the talking heads there on one of the sports shows was like, does Joe Burrow sit out next year too? Like, why rush back? You know you're going to be shitty. And it's like, yes, you play next year. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're
okay, so I'm going to ruin the development. Like, I've come this far. Are you kidding me? Is this guy for real? He's an athlete, man. You want to play the competitive juices. Like, man, oh my God, Eric, if Cincinnati does not take fucking linemen or sign some or both, oh my God.
They have to
They have to grab your franchise quarterback's dragging his leg around. Like,
they have to play. They have to draft. There's only one person they have to draft, and they could actually probably trade back a spot or two, depends on where they land. They'll probably end up with like a third overall pick because I don't think they're going to win another game. But
be hard pressed,
yeah. But if they go and they go winless for the rest of the year, and they finish third overall, they should grab they should either trade back a spot or two, and one way or another, they should grab the lineman out of Oregon, Sewell or whatever.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
So he's so good, and just pair him. You got a couple guys, right? You have, I think the center.
They need more than him, but that'd be a fucking anchor.
Yeah, and they got him.
Go get some veteran. That'd be fucking sick too.
Yeah, throw some veterans at the guards. You already have Williams.
That's gonna be amazing. Just steady and good and calming, and just
give the man some time.
A role model, somebody who does it right every day.
Yes,
comes in and leads by example.
Give the man some time to sit back there and throw for more than 2 seconds without having.
And Eric, like we haven't even mentioned it. So like we talk about Burrows, but like their running back is sick. Are you kidding me? Well, if you throw, just imagine with a decent line, man, this guy is gonna throw yards out there.
Yeah, the thing is Mixon is
underrated.
Well, yeah, but he's been hurt all year too. Trust me, I have him on fantasy.
No, for sure. But I'm just saying, we put a quality. It's like a Zeke Elliott we were just talking about. Yeah. You put a quality line in front of this boy. Yeah. And his numbers are gonna fucking blow up. Yeah, exactly. In a good way.
Exactly.
So
next game, this is the game. This is the running back game. There's not going to be, I don't know if either quarterback passes for over 25 times, but it's the Browns with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb taking on Derrick Henry and the Titans, who just destroyed the Colts and took their soul on Sunday.
You know why though? Because they gave the ball to Henry. They went back to the roots.
Yeah.
Man, Tannehill is good in that system, though, eh?
Yeah, but that's one of those things, right? That's why people talk about Darnold and as if he's done, and the Jets are. But it's like
they're so bad. We don't even know what Darnold is because the Jets are so bad.
No, you've had Adam Gase for his entire tenure.
He doesn't look that every time. And I hate the Jets. And Eric knows this.
Yeah,
probably the team I hate the most. And I will. Well, not division. That's hands down the team I hate the most. But I will say this though, he's got he looks good, man. He just, you know what I mean. For what he looks better. I don't know. He needs a lot of help. That line's not good. The best pick they made in a long time was that tackle, Beckman. Yeah. Is it Beckman? Becton. Sorry.
Yeah.
Eric's the name guy. He's a bulldog, and I love it. They need to help them out. They need to get more big guys there, running backs. Receivers, everything.
Are you rubbing something against your leg or something?
Oh, that was I did move my leg there. You hear the leather?
I keep on hearing
I was gonna tell you earlier. I heard you breathing in the mic, but I didn't want to do it to you.
Oh well, if I'm doing it, it's all good. That's why I'm telling you. I'm telling you so you can tell me. There we go. Yeah. So Browns versus Titans. Who do you got?
I gotta go with the Titans. I love the Browns. I do, but man, Baker's got to be he's still got a little ways to go. I think this is a great system for him. I think they hired the right coach. Eric, what do you think about that? You'll have to tell me in a second. But man, they got two fucking sick running backs in the backfield. That line is great. I know they don't have Beckham to kind of Odell to stretch that field, but they got to figure it out. But I still got to go with the Titans, Eric. I just feel like you pound Henry and you got two better receivers there, two younger. Yeah, I'm going to say better. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with my gut feeling there.
Yes.
Two better receivers. And, Brown is underrated. And I think Corey Davis doesn't get the credit he deserves because when Brown was gone, he showed flash plays. So, I don't know. I like Davis a lot still. But anyways, I'm leaning there. I know the Browns are getting more help. They're getting Garrett back for the pass rush, but I just don't think Baker can do it. That's a team. Here's another example of a team that are better with the lead. So they need to run the ball. Just you get what I mean, and play action. I think. So anyways, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna say go to Titans. I'm not gonna get into this. I'm not gonna drag this out. But I'm gonna go Titans. I like the Browns a lot. Eric knows one of my secretly favorite teams. I root for them all the time. I do like Baker, and I think he can get better, and I think he will. And I think they hired the right coach. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree. I'm also going with the Titans, kind of the same reason Trevor said. I just think Tannehill is going to be a little bit better in that system than Baker is going to show up for.
Perfect system for Tannehill. We're just going to say that right off.
And they're both very similar teams at the end of the day, right? When you're talking between the two.
Exactly.
They're both very similar. So
Run sets up everything else.
Yeah, exactly. But I just think the Titans are just going to do a little bit more, and I think their defense is a little better. Now, the Browns were in a close game against the Jags, but they're both missing, Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. So those are two huge
Let's stress
issues.
that out, too. The defense, I totally agree with Eric here. Like, the Browns defense is much improved, but the Titans defense, I know people say they're shit this year. They are better.
Yeah, they're not too bad. Next game, Colts, who just came off that big – ass kicking by the Titans. They are going into Houston, and they're playing against the Texans, who just came off a huge win over the Lions.
What, two in a row, Eric?
I think two in a row. Yeah, they had a really hard schedule to start the year, right? So
fucking retarded.
But and they've also now they're missing Will Fuller, though. I don't know if you saw that. He missed. He got suspended for 6 games. Is your mic rubbing on something?
It could be myself.
There you go.
That better?
Maybe.
Hold on here a second here. There we go. All right. Hopefully it's not better. We're echoing for some reason. I can hear it.
You're good.
Really?
You're good now. Yeah, whatever you were, maybe it was your string, but it was just like...
It was.
Anyways.
It definitely was. So where were we at here?
So Colts and Texans. So with the Colts and Texans, I don't know. I'm going to go with Colts. If everyone kind of guess with me with Philip Rivers. People are talking about Philip Rivers looking bad. I don't think he looked bad. I think it's just like he doesn't care. If he's down by 3 or 4 touchdowns, which they were, yes, you know what? Philip Rivers is just going to chuck it up. I don't care what anyone says.
He's come out and actually said that last year.
Yeah, he
said if we're down by like 2 or 3 scores,
if you're down by 3
obviously,
scores,
I need to push the ball.
Yeah, and
he's saying,
he's like, I don't care.
And he's like, I'm trying to fucking win.
Yeah,
so I'm taking the chances.
Why would you do little dump offs and little outplays for 2 yards? And
when you're down 3 scores, let's be realistic. A fucking dump off's not going to do nothing besides look good in fantasy.
Exactly.
So
Colts and Texans, who are you picking, Trevor?
Give me the Colts.
Colts, okay.
I really want to go with the Texans. Can we both agree, Eric, that in the last 2 W's, Watson's really showed us something? I was kind of afraid for Watson. I was a big fan of him when he came out of Clemson. I liked him a lot, but first of all, I think he's done more in the NFL than I ever thought he would. I'm going to say that right now. Like, he's better than – because I always thought I hate to say this because people are going to call me retarded, but I always thought Winston would be really good.
Yeah.
Not the case. But what I'm starting to think with Winston, Bruce Arians might not have been the answer.
No.
But anyways, we're going to see. But anyways, it doesn't matter. So what was I getting at? So I really like Watson. Like I was a little nervous because it looked like he lost Hopkins.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, Eric knows, 3 weeks in, they're or 3 weeks in the NFL schedule, they're 0-3, and I'm like, oh my god, it looks like he's given up. I almost felt like that, and it kind of his body language didn't look great. But man, he's looked great. He looks since Romeo Crennel's become the head coach. They've got rid of Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
Man, he's looked good. He's just being smart about it. He runs the ball. Yeah. He checks down when he should, and he throws. Oh, I love it, man. He looks legit.
I just want to put this out there. Let's not try to talk that Romeo Crennel should be the new head coach of that team.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he's comfortable with it. Yes. Get what I mean.
Yeah, I understand. I've kind of dumped on Deshaun Watson here. And a lot of it's just because they got behind by a lot, and then he's throwing garbage yards in the third and fourth quarters, right? So when you're losing by that much, when you don't really show up in the first or 2 quarters for 3 quarters of your games, then yes. But to be fair, he's looked really good the last couple weeks.
Unreal. He looked fucking fantastic.
He looks like a top 5 quarterback in the last couple weeks, right?
I was getting so excited in that game. I'm like, oh fuck, we got him, and then he just jogs, dodges one guy and grabs 10 yards or 15 yards for first down. I just want to vomit. So Watson, love you, bro. You're doing a hell of a job. I know you don't get your receiver, man, but you want to prove people wrong, bro. This is a professional football league. Just do your thing, man. Work with what you have.
Exactly.
Some of the best quarterbacks had shit. Look at Tom Brady.
Yeah, garbage. System quarterback.
Garbage receivers for a long time. Just going to say that.
You had Wes Welker, Randy Moss.
No, but okay, Eric, funny fact. Okay, that year we had a crazy offense. 2007 went 18-1. If he didn't hit Wes Welker underneath or Randy Moss over the top, we were shit.
Yeah, by the way, Trevor, not every team can have 4 Pro Bowlers on every position on the team like you guys, because your quarterback makes $2 an hour here.
Because he's the man.
Yeah, because he's married to a
Okay, that's
woman.
past tense. Now I'm all about the Cam Newton.
Oh my God. Next game, Vikings, because we gotta get through these. Vikings
yeah, for sure. Sorry.
are hosting the Jaguars. I think it might still.
So we're both on the Colts, people. We're both on the Colts.
Vikings versus Jags. I'm going Vikings. I think I like what I saw out of even in the game last week.
I'm going Vikings too. Without fucking, let's mention that. Without fucking. Yeah, that was huge. And Jefferson, man, oh my God, feed him the ball is a beauty.
We talked about this before the draft, and I've said it every other episode for the last 5 episodes. Justin Jefferson was my favorite receiver going into that draft.
And they traded down, bro. Well, he was your favorite, was he?
Yes.
Man, you wait, and me and Eric already talked about this, but you guys wait until you guys see Chase. Oh my God! And he didn't even play a game this year. Did he play a game for LSU? No, he opted out.
He opted out. He's like, you mean I got a free opt out?
You want to see this?
I don't
he
have
should
to
have won the draft.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have to get injured. I can stay perfectly fine. And
do you think
I can still make me a top 5 pick? So yeah, I'll do that.
Between us, does somebody go before him in the draft as a receiver? I'd be surprised.
No, that's.
And I've watched a lot of college.
No, not a chance.
God, he's good.
But no, I like he was the one that I was like, instead of somebody taking Ruggs, like I never understood the whole Ruggs being in the top 3 thing. I'm pretty sure in all the episodes before the draft, I was saying like
that's what I'm worried about with Ruggs. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we'll get to him.
He's lucky to get a reception a game.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
Come on.
So you could go on the Vikings or the Jaguars?
Well, I'm going Vikes. You know that.
Yeah, no, I think so.
I love them, man.
The Jags are just. I'm not going to put my hat on Mike Glennon win me anything.
Well, they got some of my favorite players. Like Eric knows I was a huge Florida State fan. I was a huge Cook fan coming out.
Yeah.
I know he got hurt that second year, but fuck. Or maybe it was first year. It doesn't matter.
He's been hurt a lot of years.
Let's jump ahead.
Lions, they're traveling up to Chicago to play the Bears. Who do you got? The Lions with a new coach? Do they try to impress the coach? Or is it going to be the Trubisky show?
I got the Bears. Yeah, I'm going with the Bears because the Bears are on like 5 or 6 game losing streak here. It's time. This is when you pounce. I know the division teams. I don't even give a shit. It's in Detroit. It doesn't even matter. Bears home.
Chicago.
Oh, come on, Bears. Make it happen for me.
Lions are going to win this, and I'm doing it. That's what I'm going with.
He's so wrong.
Matthew Stafford.
Nick Foles going to come out just slaying it.
They're gonna get Swift involved in this game. They're gonna start playing. Stafford's gonna be chucking the ball around.
I hope Galloway plays for my fantasy value, or I'm screwed. But
man, I've had some.
Speaking of fantasy, I owe you some money for that there soon, here, homie.
Yes, you do. Next game, it's the Raiders after just getting their asses whipped by the Falcons. After almost beating the Chiefs.
For the record, I had that game packed.
There you go. But it's the Raiders, and they're going to the Jets. Do the Raiders lose to another terrible team?
No,
I don't think so either.
I got Oakland.
I do too. The Jets are just terrible, and I just feel bad for Sam Darnold. I just don't know what to tell them.
I do. Pack your bags. You're coming to New England, buddy.
Oh my God, they won't trade in the division. He'd be crazy.
They release him, boy. Look out! They're not going to keep him and Trevor Lawrence.
No, but they'll just trade him for. They'll probably get a look at a second or maybe even a third, but they'll get something out of him.
I was going to ponder that to you.
That'll be next episode.
What do you? Yeah, okay.
We got you. That'll be. We're going to actually do some homework for next episode, and I'm going to put Trevor on the clock.
We did some homework here. Like, anyways, it doesn't matter. Go on. Continue on.
Going back to the next game, just on the Raiders too. The one problem I had with Ruggs, and Ruggs is helping them because he's trying to space it out a lot more, which is opening up Aguilar and Hunter Renfrow and all these other guys, Waller. But yeah, Henry Ruggs, all he does is run really fast. He can't run a route. He doesn't do anything for them, and he looks terrible for the Raiders. I don't know why that guy was.
See, sometimes I wonder. I think it's sometimes Eric is John Gruden.
No, I think.
He can't run a bubble screen. Like they can't do some of the shit New England does and other teams.
Aguilar is getting out. Aguilar is essentially being what.
Oh man, but But Eric, can we totally agree that Aguilar has been fucking unreal?
I agree with that. I'm just saying.
Let's give him fucking kudos, man.
Henry Ruggs on the Raiders is exactly what he was in Alabama, which is the 4th receiver. And for some reason,
third. Yeah.
He was the 4th best receiver on that Alabama team.
I don't give a fuck when anybody says Judy was the shit on that team.
Oh, Judy was 100%, but it was Judy, 2 other guys, then Henry Ruggs.
There's only one receiver I like better than him, and it was fucking CV Lamb.
Yeah.
And how is he doing? I'd love to have him in New England, but fuck.
He
can play outside and in. Like, he's a beauty.
Yes.
He's just missing a quarterback in Dallas.
Literally.
He's missing Dak.
People just they just see Tyreek Hill and all the stuff he can do. So they're like, holy crap, there's another receiver that's really fast. This guy runs a 4.22. Let's take him because it's stupid. Next game, it's the last of the early games. It is the Saints, which are led by Taysom Hill, who is another quarterback that threw for under 100 yards last week and won, mainly because they played a team that did not have a quarterback. And they are playing.
They blew them out, too.
Oh, they're so bad.
He ran lots, too, though.
Yeah.
Reminds me kind of New England, really.
Then it was the Falcons. They're playing against the Falcons, who just came off a huge win, obviously, over the Raiders. So who do you got, the Saints or the Falcons, Trevor?
Saints or the Falcons? Give me the – where's this game at? It doesn't even matter because the fans.
It's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Fuck. Give me the Saints. I want to take Matt Ryan and the boys, but I just can't do it.
No. I'm also in the Saints. I think they just have a really well-rounded team. Obviously, Taysom Hill's not going to –
I liked them a little bit. Honestly, the reason I'm taking people is I like them better defensively.
Yeah. No, I think that's
I really do.
No, I agree. Next game, this is the first of the afternoon games. This is the Giants. They are traveling up to Seattle and the Seahawks. And who do you got?
Seattle.
Yeah, me too. I think
if Jones was in the game for the other team for sort of the Giants,
yeah,
I'd give him a sniff, but no all day Russell.
It's I think it'll probably be a little closer than what people think, just because this is a typical Seattle playing down to their opponent every time. They'll never.
Well, I just don't think Seattle's defense is that fucking good, bro. Like, honestly.
No, they had Diggs, and he's not very good.
But I'll take Russ, and I'll take DK, and I think Carson's back. He got some handoffs, so.
Yeah, he ran for like 40 yards and a touchdown last game.
I know, but that's a start.
Here's another game of young coaches that have exciting offenses. It is the Rams. They are traveling to Arizona to play the Cardinals.
You already know who I got.
Trevor's going with the Rams.
Yes, I am. Fucking love it. Cody Bowman, that's a shout out to you, bro. I'm a huge Rams fan, man. I like Sean McVay. I like Goff. I love the receivers. Former Buffalo Bill.
Jalen Ramsey.
Wood, who's
Aaron
killing it.
They have all these guys. I'm with
who's they got the former what is it, Floyd? First round pick for Chicago. And he's he's gone.
Oh,
I think it's Floyd. Yeah. Anyways, he's actually been what people don't realize is he's a lot better than he's been, let on. Like he fits there. That's all I'm gonna say. He looks good.
No, I think I'm also in the Rams. I just think
I love the Rams.
I don't know the Cardinals. I think Ramsey's gonna have a big day against DeAndre Hopkins. I think DeAndre Hopkins obviously is good, but I think if you can take out DeAndre Hopkins at all out of a game, I think
slow him down. Slow him down. He's not the whole game. Plus, Rams, just do what you do, man. Run the ball. It sets everything else up. Plus, you control the clock. If fucking Hopkins is sitting on the bench, you can't burn me. That's all I'm going to say.
Next game, Eagles. Packers. Who you got?
Fuck, man. I really want to take the Eagles here. But I don't think I'm going to. We're in Greenbow. Fuck. I love, people. Carson Wentz is far from junk. If you want to fucking throw him to the Wolves, give him to New England. I'd love to have him, man. You need more help.
Trevor just wants every quarterback, by the way. If anybody hasn't realized, any quarterback on their age of 25.
Honestly, Eric knows, probably my favorite young quarterback is Carson Wentz.
Yes.
And he's far from junk.
Yeah.
Man, he's holding on the ball. Any good, it doesn't matter. Give me Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. So I'm going with the Packers too. I think they're just a better team.
Carson, you just need more help, buddy.
Yeah, I think he needs more weapons.
You got to be able to run the ball too. And I love Sanders too, but Fuck
yeah,
me.
I changed Doug Peter when everything on your offense looks bad, not just your quarterback, your receivers, your line play, your running backs, everything looks bad. It's not your quarterback. It is your coaches, and I would get rid of the coaches this year instead of getting rid of the quarterback because I think Carson Wentz has proved that he can be a really good quarterback. So
one guy they can't fire though, Eric, is their defensive coordinator, and that's is that Jim Schwartz?
Yeah, Jim Schwartz.
I think they look bad early, but they're coming around. They need more help there too. They could use a fucking shutdown. Like Slade, where you been, bro? He was getting burned all the time. And what's the other guy they got from Buffalo a couple of years ago? Was it Digby or doesn't even matter? But the other corner's gonna get shit. Darby, yes, that's who I'm thinking about. Play better, Darby. You've been decent. Decent's not gonna win you games in the NFL.
I think they've had a good. I think their pass defense is actually like top 5 this year for the most.
Well, it really helps them. Like it sets up their back end.
Yeah. The game of the week, Trevor.
What do we got?
Is the next one we're talking about. It is the battle of the 8 combined wins between the 3 wins San Diego, and by San Diego I mean LA Chargers, versus the New England Patriots.
What, we're playing you guys this weekend? I didn't even know that.
Yes. So you guys are traveling down to LA and
I love it. So we got the Chargers. I love it.
I'm going with the Chargers. It's not even close.
Good, because I go with the Pats.
45-10. What do you mean? We're not going to lose to a guy with a
45-10. Has this guy been smoking the ganja? Are you for real, bro?
We're not losing to a guy that can't throw for 100 yards in a game.
Eric,
with no
touchdowns. What has Bill Belichick done, the rookie quarterback? Man, you should look that stat up because it's probably not in your favor.
Okay, I don't care.
I'm not saying it's not gonna. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm just saying, bro. Like
Justin Herbert threw for more yards last game than Cam Newton has in like 5 games combined.
Can you guys stop the run, bud?
No, we can't. We are terrible against stopping.
That's what we do. Like we don't even tip our hand. Like that's what we do.
I say that, but.
But we're no 49ers. That's beautiful to watch.
We did a pretty good job against Buffalo for the most part.
Or the Ravens.
No, I'm going with the Patriots.
True.
I'm not going with the Patriots. I'm going with the Chargers. I just think your guys' offense.
See, he wanted to go with the Patriots. No. But he knew that I was going with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Come on, Cammy boy.
I just don't think your guys' offense is good enough, and I don't think our defense is good enough. But I think our offense is good enough to put up more points. Now that being said, we're probably going to miss 4 field goals, get 3 punts blocked. You guys are going to turn a special team touchdown, and that's how we're going to lose. So congratulations.
We got lucky on that way there last weekend with a missed field goal, but exactly, you just got to take advantage of your opportunities, right?
Yep. Next game, we are now in the night game. I feel like one of these is kind of flexed out, whether it's the Rams moving into the late game, the Rams and the Cardinals, or even the Patriots versus the Chargers. I can't see us having this game being the number 1 game, the Sunday night game. Maybe because it's Patrick Mahomes and he'll put on another show. But it's the Chiefs hosting the Denver Broncos, who I think will have a quarterback for the game. So we'll see.
They will. They all passed the test here today.
So I'm going with the Chiefs. I don't think it's even going to be close. I think the Broncos are terrible. I think Drew Lock's not great. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think Lock's their best quarterback option, though.
I think he is, which is bad.
Yeah.
That's because you have Rhett Rippon and you have Blake Bortles. Who
I haven't given up on him yet. Have you given up?
Yes, I don't think he's good.
Lock?
No, I don't think he. I think he.
I've seen flashes. See, you know who kind of, and you're gonna fucking laugh at me when I say this. Well, actually, no. I was gonna almost compare him to Jay Cutler, but when Jay Cutler was young, man, he fucking killed it.
No, Jay Cutler was so good. I don't care what
like when he was young, right? He killed it when he was young.
Jay Cutler had some.
Because remember when him in Denver, man, he fucking tore it up.
Like
him and Marshall.
Year or 2 in Chicago, he played pretty good.
He made Adam Gase look good.
Yeah,
that's fucking fact.
I liked Jay Cutler. I thought he was pretty good. Drew Lock, and
so
if you look at his stats, like overall, like you would take that career 100 times out of 100 for Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler was one of my favorites, actually, believe it or not. Yes. I loved him in Chicago too, but whatever. Smoking Jay Cutler. That's awesome. Jay Cutler.
But no, I don't think. I think Drew Lock. I think he's overrated.
So you got Denver. Who are they playing again? Oh, you're playing your team? No, sorry. Chiefs. They're playing my team.
Chiefs.
Oh yeah, I got KC all day, but
yeah, we'll just sit with it.
I hate to say that,
just
but
gonna be too good.
I want to but people remember this is a division game, so if you got a good feeling for Denver, this is your time to bet big. If you're better,
don't have a good feeling about Denver.
Money?
Next game Monday. There's a whole lot of games going on here. Monday is apparently Washington versus Steelers, I think, because they're going to be moving all these games around. So
sweet.
Washington versus the Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers. So I don't think this is. I understand Washington will probably keep it close.
Steelers are going to lose the fucking game. This could. I'm just trying to think if I've seen enough out of Alex Smith in the last game to see if he's there. But their line's just not good.
Terry McLaurin is probably the most underrated receiver in the league, and that's coming.
Give me the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going Steelers too. I like Terry McLaurin. I really like Antonio Gibson. I think both those guys are really good.
So do I.
Think they try hard enough that they'll keep it close. But I think the Steelers still probably win it by like 35-24 type of thing.
I think Alex Smith is 2 more starts previous to where he's at right now.
Yeah.
And he give it a better go.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm just saying he looks a lot better than he did the first time he got in the game again.
I still don't understand.
God, he looks so much better.
I guess if you're at this point, you might even win the division, so maybe you try for it. But why not try Dwayne Haskins and see what that guy does? But I guess if at this point you're all in on
Alex.
Alex.
Because he won the last game, yeah.
Next game is the Bills versus the 49ers. They're in San Fran. Actually, they're not going to be in San Fran because San Fran can't play at home because they.
I got to take my Bills. You know me. I got to take the Bills.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to take the Bills too.
Fuck, man. Take San Fran because I feel like they're going to win the game. But
no. I'm taking Bills. I don't know where this game is
going
to be
played. I don't
know
if the fuck. I'm starting. You've got me doubting the Bills' defense now, bro. You really do.
No, I think they played really good.
It's just kind of like injuries. Like, I don't know. Maybe they don't have the depth. But you've got me doubting them. But I'm telling you, when Josh Allen is on, man. Whew.
He's got a rocket arm.
Even when he's not great, he's good. Like, they're still really hard to beat.
And there's something about him that he's just like, I don't know. Like, he's got that face.
Moxie. Moxie, yeah. And he wants to win. Yeah, it fucking matters to him.
This guy, he wants to win. And even if he's not winning, like
you could see it in his face, man. He's just like, "Fuck you, I'm getting this."
That's a guy,
man.
That's a guy I want to rally behind.
I know. He's just got it. He's the it factor. He's got it. That me and Eric
he makes me want.
We're talking sexy about him. See, we're talking sexy about him.
He makes me want to jump through a table. Let's just put it that way.
He's great.
But no, I'm going with those two. I think the 49ers, I think it's just one of those things. They just have too many injuries. Obviously, they're starting to come around. They have guys like Fred Warner on the defense. And
they've got good coaching. They've got fucking great coaching there in the 49ers. They got good depth. If they had just a little hair better with depth on the D line.
Well, they had it.
They're still in the fight.
They had the depth. The problem is now they're into their depth, right? They've lost 2 or 3 other guys. They've lost Nick Bosa. They lost they lose Solomon Thomas? Is that the other guy they lost?
And Solomon Thomas, yeah.
And obviously they traded DeForest Buckner to the
Colts. I think if it wasn't the same week, it was fucking back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
I really thought they lost both of them in the same game,
I think
to be
honest.
It
was the same game.
But
it was just one of those things. It was, just too many injuries for them. I think the Bills are just – and I don't think the Bills destroy it, but I think the Bills probably do win like 28-14 or 17 or something like that. Next game – it is, I think it's on Wednesday. Again, or maybe this is on Tuesday. And it is the Ravens, which is supposed to be a Thursday game. They now pushed it back to Tuesday, I think. It's the Ravens playing against the Cowboys. They're in Baltimore. Who do you got?
Ravens all day, man. I cannot go with the Cowboys anymore. They just... they don't even lube me up. They just bend me over. It's just not good, bro. Like, the Cowgirls, Shane, what the fuck is your team doing to me? Like, anyways, whatever. You know what really makes me mad is, like, they have my favorite young rookie receiver. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not even going to mention that. Let's not even talk about it.
No, I think the Cowboys, their coaching is bad. Like we mentioned before, you somehow thought that Mike McCarthy was the answer when you watched him with a Hall of Fame quarterback.
For the record, the last 2 years he was in Green Bay, he shouldn't have been there.
No.
Aaron Rodgers should have at least 2 of these. Yep. He's got 1.
Yep.
2.
Because the
first
one was done because Aaron Rodgers was just that good that he drug the rest of the team there. But Mike McCarthy's not a good coach.
And they had Clay Matthews, and he was fucking dynamite at that point.
They had a couple guys, right? But
they had still had Charles Woodson, right?
Yeah, but I think
and Woody still had some too.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things. For whatever reason, he kind of duped them. Somehow convinced Jerry Jones, who this is why you don't let your owner get into it because he gets all sentimental. And Mike McCarthy probably walked in and went, "Hey Jerry, I got one of these. I got one of those Super Bowl rings that you want. I could bring you there. I could get you a Super Bowl again if you want one." And Jerry's probably like, "Oh, I like Super Bowls, and I do want one." And yeah, let's do it, Mike McCarthy. You do have a Super Bowl ring. Let's go.
You should hear some of the talk radios when they ask him questions. It's fucking great. So, I don't know what podcast I listen to and hear some of it, but you'd laugh your ass off.
So Trevor,
Shane, you wouldn't.
You just reminded me of this. So I gotta find the quote, but it was Adam Gase, your favorite guy.
Oh my fuck! This is priceless. Continue.
And I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I heard the interview, and it was somebody asked him and said, "Adam," he said, "Yeah." He goes, "Why did you take? You told us you were going to give the play calls to whoever the offensive coordinator is for offense." And he goes, "They're like, but he wasn't calling the plays. You were." And he's like, "Nope, I was not calling the plays. It was Johnny. I'll just call him Johnny. It was Johnny calling the plays." And they're like, no, like during the plays and during the series, you went like you could see him talking to people on the sidelines. So like talking to players and stuff, like not looking at the field. So he's not calling plays because he's not looking at the field. How does he know what to call if he's not if you don't know what the down is, you're not paying attention. Like, how do you know what to call? You can't. So obviously he's not calling the plays. And he was like, "Well, you know what? It's not that hard," which is kind of comical because it's like you're the worst offense in the league by far, and you're saying that it's not that hard. Just putting
ironic.
And then he goes, "All you do, you have your series, you pick your 3 plays, and then you go with it. The first 3 plays, you pick your 3 plays that you want to use, and then you go with it. Your first 3 downs." And the person's like, "What happens past the 3rd down?" So you have 3 plays. You don't know the down and distance that you got from any of them. Which yes, obviously teams do this where they like coming out of going to the game, they have the first 8 plays picked out, right? Like that's kind of common.
Scripted,
yeah, exactly. They kind of have it scripted, but he was just like, "No, you have the first 3," and they're like, "Well, what about the after that?" Anyways, I'll have to send you it, and maybe I'll post it on Twitter. If you're not following us there, check us out on Twitter. But I'll post it on there. But it was one of those things where it's like, holy crap, this guy he caught himself in a lie. He couldn't pull himself out of the lie. And he looks so
which is the
stupid.
best.
I'm just like, this guy is the worst coach I've ever seen. He's completely lost the locker room.
An
the team
idiot.
is terrible. Even like putting Joe Flacco, like, and I know James Morgan's been hurt some, blah blah. Just if you drafted the guy, just throw him out there. Like, you're terrible. You have 1-0 games. What is the point of bringing out Joe Flacco? Is Joe Flacco going to be your quarterback in the future?
No. Flacco looked good against New England, though. Or decent.
And
he looked good.
And Flacco in the second half against the Chargers did exactly what Flacco does, which is go back and throw up the ball and hope for pass interference or a catch. And he locked down.
I hate to say this as a New England fan, but Flacco has got us quite a few times. And that's just a fact. So
it was.
He's got good jam against us.
I'll have to send you that. And like I said, people, if you haven't watched it yet, I will put it on Twitter. So if you haven't,
I look forward to it.
Twitter. We're also on YouTube. We're also on.
We were on Instagram and we were on Facebook, but we will not talk about that. We're going to figure it out.
We're back on Instagram.
Are we?
Instagram, yeah. So I started another one up, but anyways, it is what it is. Also, if you guys haven't checked, Trevor might not know this. I've done Trevor and I both like sports. Everyone knows this. And Die Hard. And one of the things about sports we also enjoy over time, and I'm starting to get back into it, is sports cards. So on the channel,
he is.
Yep. It's bad. It's not. I'm not gonna lie to you. But if you haven't yet, check us out on there because I'm doing some breaks, just opening cards. You guys can just see what's opening packs. It's something people do all over the internet now and all over YouTube. So if you guys want to go check it out, there's a bunch of episodes on there. I've opened a bunch of different stuff for hockey, whether it's Upper Deck, whether it's just Tim Hortons cards, whether it's the new 2021, 2020-2021 Series 1 with Lafreniere in it. I actually end up getting 2 Lafreniere cards. It's all there on YouTube. Yeah, big. That was a good payday. I shipped my first one out today. The other one I'm going to probably send it out for grading and sit on it, but I had one that, let's just say, I made a pretty penny on. So good money for a hockey card. Who would ever think you'd get $380 for $370 for a hockey card? Not this guy, but there it is. Yeah, so anyways, if you guys want, if that tickles your fancy, if that's something that maybe you guys might be interested in, check us out on YouTube for that. We're going to post some stuff on Twitter. I usually post most episodes on Twitter and on Instagram when I release them. And obviously these episodes will be on Instagram also and YouTube. And as we get close to the end of the year, we'll probably have some features on stuff like the draft, obviously, where we think players are going, where we think players should go if they get, traded. Obviously, like I said, the big rumor is one Mr. Sam Darnold. So I think that'll be what our next, I'm going to get Trevor on it. Maybe we'll do our top 2 or 3 destinations for one Mr. Sam Darnold if the Jets were to trade him. So
don't even bother. New England.
Oh my God. They're not going to trade. Trevor just wants literally Trevor's gone. Have you wanted every quarterback from the last 6 drafts? Because I'm pretty sure.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. Trevor's wondering, he's like, Christian Ponder was a first-round draft pick. Him and Jake Locker. I wonder what they're doing. Can I get Christian Ponder and Jake Locker in here, please? No? Nothing? Okay.
No comment.
Anyways, so that's going to be it for this episode. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Yeah, make sure you like us, subscribe to us, leave us a comment if you have any. And for Eric and for Trevor, this is us signing out.
Keep your stick on the ice, people.
Bye, guys.